Well, let me say good evening or afternoon to each and every one of you. We pray that all is well with you and yours and that things seem to be falling in place as they should. We are grateful um, to God for the privilege of being able to come to you um, once again. I need to share something with you so that you will know where we're at and exactly what is taking place. And I just needed to do this because if you remember correctly, I kind of shared with you, hey Marilyn, how are you, at the beginning of this pandemic, that there was Lavonda, good to see you. There was worse things yet to come, and I've said this over and over again. I'm not a prophet. I've never claimed to be one. I've never considered myself to be anything like that. But I do know what I know, and here I am again. Here I am again in the midst of Cecile. How are you? Here I am again, and I'm sure, Cecile, you understand this better than anybody else, being in Texas. Hey, Carletta, how are you? And the thing that frustrates me is there is this, hey, Cora, there is this mentality, there's this persona, there's this presentation by people who, for the most part, Sharon, how are you? Who really don't care. Um, they're talking about their constitutional rights. They're talking about their freedoms. And Elder Carter, how are you? And so I am not negating your constitutional rights nor your freedoms. What I'm here to speak on is in the midst of you claiming to have freedom, you are infringing upon the lives of other people. Think about this. We just got the statistics out today. Trumbull County is red. There are 7 counties now that are under mandated mask wearing publicly. They are there. Dimples, Jaleesa, that and I'm struggling with the words because I want to make sure that I say this right. I want to make sure that I get this because no matter what I say, somebody is going to say that I'm saying something anti whatever. But I just need to say this because how many people have to die? All of a sudden now, this virus, and I've been told this by um, some other medical experts, that it mutates. And as soon as they think they figured out the molecular structure of it and be able to come up with some kind of antidote, it changes. And so, what I'm saying is, and I need us to understand, yeah, yeah, Vanessa, I'm, if you don't care anything about anybody but yourself, then you need to isolate yourself to yourself rather than unconsciously infecting other people. Ohio is red again. There are people who are carrying the virus. There are people who are contracting the virus. Now, we may not be like Florida or Arizona or Texas or California, but here's my problem. And I'm going to be the first person to admit, uh, Robert, that Barbara, I got a little lax. You know, when this thing first came out, I was like, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, sanitize, 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 wear your mask. And sometimes when it doesn't happen to you, you kind of go a little lax in what you're doing, not washing your hands as much as you used to, not sanitize. We went out on a tirade of sanitizer. We got sanitizer everywhere, and we're not using it like we should. I got family members that have it who are fighting for their lives right now. I have had church members who have passed because of it. I have church members who have had it and they've survived it, but the residual after effects are of an unbelievable magnitude. And here's the problem. We yet don't know. Now they're saying that this virus can contribute to Alzheimer's and other neurological defects. But it's okay. We're gonna go out here on the beach. We're gonna go back to the clubs. We're gonna go back to all of the stuff that we used to do as if this thing does not exist. And we are at, I believe, 130,000 people dead in 4 months. We are close to 3 million infected and climbing at an astronomical rate. All of a sudden, now they're shutting down restaurants, they're shutting down bars, they're shutting down all of this stuff, Terrier. All of these things are closing because people were more concerned about the economy than being there. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. People have a right to work. They need to be able to make a living. I understand that. I understand that clearly. But I figure like this. Since we already $4 trillion in the hole by one president, whereby not one Republican has fought against it. And they call themselves deficit hawks. And then the few that are talking about it want to take away from Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. If there would have been a nationalized standard, more people would be above ground than in ground. And I am not a conspiracy theorist, although there's enough evidence in our lives to kind of go, But here's what I am saying. Since we ain't got good sense in Washington, and some of our governors and mayors don't have good sense, you need to take responsibility for yourself. Wash your hands. Get you some sanitizer. Keep it with you all the time, Robin. Yeah, they think it's a joke until it's them on a respirator. And that's the thing that drives me insane. This is the thing that drives me like to another level of craziness. Is we live in a nation that is no longer its brother's keeper, and it starts from the top all the way down. So all I'm saying, here's my responsibility. I don't care what they do in Washington. I don't care what they do in the governor's house, irregardless of what governor it is. I don't care what they do as mayors. I don't care what they do as whatever their positions are, city council people. I don't really care what they do. Here's what I'm saying. Wash your hands. Sanitize constantly. Wear your masks. And stay away from large crowds. We have yet to find out what the effects are going to be from the 4th of July. Now listen, they're trying to attach this spurt or surge on the people who have been marching, and they can't do it because there's no evidence or proof. Because for those who have marched against racism, 98% of them were wearing masks. It's the pool party. It's the folk that had the parties in their backyards. It's the folk that's having the parties downstairs in the basement. It's the folk that got together over the holiday. You don't have one thermometer. You don't have one piece of equipment to be able to test whoever showed up to your house. You don't know what they've touched. You don't know what they've ingested. You don't know who they've been around, and you don't know what they have left. So here's all I'm saying, and I'm done. I'm done. I'm getting off this soapbox, and it's my job to sound the alarm. It's my job to just let you know, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Sterilize, sterilize, Lavonda. Sterilize through sanitizer to make sure that your hands are clean. Let me help you. Clean your doorknobs, clean your handles, clean all of that if you've had people in your house. Man, look, they got designer masks out here now. You ain't got to buy the blue ones with the little strap. You could turn around and get you. And here's what I have done. We bought them for the church. I bought them for myself. I bought one for my youngest son. Get you one of those UV sanitizing lights. And make sure you stay safe. You got packages coming. Put that wand on that package. And I know, and I'm going to start saying it over and over again, and I'm going to keep saying it until you get it. Because I'm tired of doing funerals. I'm tired of cemeteries. I'm tired of ICU units. And guess what? The medical field is tired of being overwhelmed, overworked, and unappreciated while they don't get any sleep, while folk are running around here doing whatever they want to do, and they end up in these places and they don't have to be there. That's all I got to say. Become your brother's keeper. The wearing of the mask is not for you. It is for the people you're going to come in contact with. And I hear this thing about the carbon monoxide. Oh, you're going to breathe in all the... Nobody told you to wear the mask 24/7. You in your house, take the mask off. You in your car and you're by yourself, take the mask off. You riding in the car with someone who lives in the house with you, take the mask off. But when you get out the car, I'm to the point I sanitize when I get out the car. When I get done shopping or doing whatever I need to do, I sanitize before I touch the handles of my car. All I'm saying is, since we don't have governmental prudence, you need to have prudence and become your brother's keeper. So that's all I want to say. Listen, we don't have folk at the house. And normally during the holidays, family is all in the house, everywhere. No, not this year. Not this year. And so that's all I've got to say. And you can spread this. You can tell other people I said it. You can share this if you want to. I'm not backing down off of this. I'm not backing down off of this at all. And I'm not saying that the governor hasn't did a good job, because he has. I'm not saying that there aren't mayors and governors around here that have seen the light and are doing a good job, because there are those who have. Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you, Robin. I'm glad you brought that up. Put gloves on when you go to pump your gas, because you don't know whose hands have been on the handle before you showed up. And you may say, oh, this is overkill. You may say, oh, that's just too much. I don't have to do all of that. I pray that you never have to be the person who, one, goes to the ICU, or two, has a loved one in the ICU and you can't visit them. You can't be there for them. And I pray that you never have to experience one of them dying. Hello, Roberta. How are you? And so that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it, because the more repetitive it becomes, maybe somebody will hear what we have to say. Maybe someone's life can be saved by somebody who just keeps getting on their nerves. Well, I gotta go. I got a Zoom chat coming up here in a little bit. I'm getting ready for that. Do what I need to do and press toward the mark. Listen, love you from the depths of my soul. And the reason that I love you is, and I'm willing to take the risk of hey Ayana, how are you? Making people mad, and when they see me come on, they'll click it off or do it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care anymore, because if I can save one person, if I can encourage somebody, if I can guide someone so that they stay here as long as the Lord will have them to be here, that is all that matters to me. Listen, you have a fantastic evening. Enjoy yourself. Remember, this is Blackout Day. We're not supposed to be putting any money into the economy unless that business is black owned and operated. Sometimes a message has to be sent so people can understand clearly that we as a people have economic power. Well, I gotta go. I gotta go. Listen, take care, be blessed, be safe. May God bless you. May He keep you, is our prayer.